and a priest by left and right. Now let me tell you some story. If someone is coming to live like this land in Aduwawa, I'm the custodian of all the customary values of
even government land.
The government have no land. This is my personal land. Even that one, Ali, my mother and Eweka gave that land to Ali, who formulated it.
We suspect that this is a cemetery.
Yes. Yes. It's not cemetery.
Private cemetery. Nobody can call this a shrine anymore.
Yes.
Or you want to bring soldier or police to arrest me? Let them arrest me. Let me go. But that is the past. Arresting me. To arrest I'm the representative of the bar of this place.
The shrine itself has been desecrated.
Yes.
And so we call on our royal father, the Oba of Benin, Oba Eware II, Omonoba Nedo, Ukwabalopolo, to rely on all traditional rules of engagement, enabling him on that behalf to seal the shrine.
This place is a proposed site. It's known as Ogiegbaen, to be the palace of Ohomba.
And to visit the head of that shrine, who is the father and who is himself complicit in this murder, to visit him with the pain of punishment.
We've heard of Afro for a very long time, and I would say no thanks to our slow pace of justice in this country. There is somebody who has gotten several convictions, and on appeal, he may be acquitted. But I'm saying that if these convictions were hurriedly executed by then, a lot of things would have been settled before now. Afro is someone that has a long checkered history of violence in this state. I'm surprised that he's still there, boasting and doing things. The other day, he destroyed the fence of a government agency, claiming that the land belongs to him. And nothing has been done.
I can't imagine that Afro is still a chief priest. How can you entrust such a notorious person with such an office, a traditional office? You see, if we fold our hands and allow those who do evil because it has not happened to you, you don't want to speak out, you don't want to show concern, evil will fester. Who is the next person on the line? We don't know. Today is Omo Iyoha. Tomorrow it may be someone else. For four decades, Afro has been there. The children are taking over from him now. And look, it's like a dynasty of evil manifestation.
But we are saying that this sort of violence, the way it has been meted, we must also meet it with tougher measures. And at this time, we are taking this measure to reawaken the government and relevant authorities to take the bull by the horn, to always be up on their game.
We are sending a very strong signal by our coming out en masse to show that no to violence and no to any reign of terror. So what we change after today is that terror will be a thing that will be undermined in the society, such that anybody that is associated with violence will not have a pride of place in the community, as it used to be. When people, give them that pride of place, that will not be the position, because this will not be a strong message that there is repercussion for any evildoer.
is the last criminal man in the house. They kept his body here before onward transfer to bush where he was buried. Yes, this is where our colleague was kept briefly before he was transferred to the bush for burial. This is the house of Osasu Osadolo, the son of Afro, Felix Osadolo. That is the leader of the gang of criminals who snuffed the life out of our colleagues so prematurely. And this is where they brought him to. After beating him, stabbing him, they also put his head inside the hot water where you normally cook corn. They fight the fire, they roasted his head. He was roasted before he was transported and brought to that uncompleted building where they observed him to see whether he would wake up. And when he did not, they now transferred him here. And when it was that late at night, they now moved him to the burial site, the place of exhumation.
We are 10 in number. Okay. 10 in number. As we reached the beer parlor, there was follow my friend the site. For there now, that's where we revenge. So we reach there now, all of them run, now we catch one for his side.
Wait till I take kill him.
Now wood, not enough for here.
Waiting cause the quarrel.
One small boy with one weather. We put your own weather.
This suspect confessed to this crime and led the police to the graveyard beside the first suspect, Osasu Osadolo Afro's house, where they buried him in a shallow grave. Here we have the remains of Barrister Iyoha, Osobase Omo, with us here.
Colleagues, we are the site where our colleague, late Osobase, was buried and later exhumed by the hoodlums. We have decided to trace his last steps from the point of abduction to where he was kept at the uncompleted building to the house of the head of the hoodlums, where he was put in the garage before he was buried here. So we have come to see for ourselves the place of incidents where the body of our colleague laid until the discovery by men of the anti-kidnapping unit of the State Police Command. We use the opportunity to call on the government of Edo State that we suspect, and rightly too, that there are other bodies here.
Yes.
This would appear to be a burial site.
Yes.
We call on the state government to immediately acquire this property, clear it, so that forensic experts can come and take a close look at what has been happening here. This cannot be the first body that was buried in this place. We suspect that this is a cemetery.
Yes. Yes. It's not cemetery. Private cemetery.
Nobody can call this a shrine anymore.
Yes.
The shrine itself has been desecrated.
Yes.
And so we call on our royal father, the Oba of Benin, Oba Eware II, Omonoba Nedo, Ukwakpolo, to rely on all traditional rules of engagement, enabling him on that behalf to seal the shrine and to visit the head of that shrine, who is the father and who is himself complicit in this murder, to visit him with the pain of banishment. Yes. We also call on the state government to rely on all laws enabling on that behalf to demolish this property belonging to the leaders, to the head of the gang of, how do I refer to the animals that took life so prematurely from our colleague. I hereby, on behalf of this bar, mark this building as an illegal structure liable to be demolished by the state government. We shall formally write to the state government making this demand. We expect the government to meet this demand.
Yes.
And so, gentlemen, we have seen, we will not go back and strategize because prosecution is the next stage.
This is the last straw that breaks the camel's back. As you can see here today, we all marched and took the same journey with our colleague who was gruesomely murdered. And we've seen everything, and we are not relenting. You understand? So we are taking every step, every legal step, to ensure that justice is not only done, but seen to be manifestly done. Because this gruesome act will not go unpunished. As you can see here today, we've assured the communities, the residents in this area, to ensure them that such illegalities will not take place in these premises.
And very importantly, we run a state-led administration of criminal justice. Citizen cannot naturally arrest anybody and put him in cell or put him in his house on the ground that he's a criminal. So for the past 40 years, citizens are made to understand that they cannot really enforce the law beyond mere reporting. But they have seen that when NBA gave an instruction for citizen arrest of these criminals, police took a step further to arrest them, which also shows that for the past 40 years, nobody has braced the tape to say, let us work and enforce this law. But the moment the NBA came together and said, let us go and enforce, police took a step. So the signal is very simple. Past 40 years, citizens don't enforce the law. It's left to the state. But currently, citizens are taking a step further to even enforce an arrest and commission the institutions involved to go ahead and do their job.
What I found out basically is that this man escaped by whiskers. The last time the father, Afro himself, was involved in the Mondos Act. And people had thought that he would have gone because people are tired of his notorious behavior, criminal behavior. All of a sudden it came out, and this man not stopped. We are looking at this issue as next time, like it has happened now, no room will be given for escape. For in the legal profession, we're going to tie all the knots to ensure that criminality does not show up again in the community and in the country. So it has opened our eyes to watchfulness, strict observance of the law, and strict execution of the law, so that no room will be given for a criminal to escape, to start perpetuating more dastardly acts in the society. So that is it.
Detection of crime requires information. Without it, nothing will happen. So we call on all of you to be ever vigilant in your community. Look around those persons who are involved in one criminal act or the other and report them to the police. The lines are open. We will continue to establish more lines and to give it out to the public so that even the smallest of children will know these lines and be able to call the police when you observe that something unusual is happening in your environment. Otherwise, the absurd corollary that you are all complicit. Yes. So it is our clarion call. Say what that one mean? That you are complicit. That you are a part of it. That you tolerate it. Do you understand? And that you accept it. You are part of it. So you must be forever vigilant. We do not want to victimize anybody because we operate under the system that it is better for 1,000 guilty men to be free than for one innocent man to suffer. And so, for that reason, we will not ask the police to extend their long arm to the neighborhood. Because there is what we now call neighborhood watch. The neighborhood watch means that you are part of the police, that you are part of community policing. And so, we will not want any innocent person to suffer. Otherwise, we will ask the agencies to arrest everybody that lives around here. We know when we ask questions, one or two persons will be able to say, I actually saw it. But We do not want the innocent to suffer, because it is better for 1,000 guilty men to walk free than for one innocent man to suffer. The blood of an innocent man can destroy an entire community. And that is why we have marked this building, and we have marked that building. Those buildings can no longer stand or remain in this community. In the shortest possible time, we will come and we are going to destroy these buildings. They should no longer be allowed to live in your midst, so that even you can sleep well at night. Yes. Gentlemen, I thank you all. I think it's time we go back to the... Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, like, share and subscribe to this channel so that you do not miss our next release.